Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
You feel especially caffeinated today?
Surprisingly not. I've not had a coffee today, and all I've had, because I'm at home, and so making a coffee here is more of an effort than it is when I'm at my apartment in Ottawa. And the root beer I've been drinking this afternoon is caffeine-free.
Oh,
I'm just in a really good mood because it is opening day of the MLB season.
there we go.
So we're in the lovely 1 month period where I'm guaranteed to watch hockey, like Leafs hockey and Blue Jays baseball at the same time.
Oh, joy.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You hit those balls.
Pocket Leafs practice. I'm sorry, Elias Hipsmom, you don't deserve me making that joke. um, yeah, we are in too good of a mood, considering how the Leafs played on Tuesday against New Jersey, who they play two more times, twice more, before the end of the season, because that's just how the NHL schedule wanted to do it.
Being alive. So much. The thing is, it's a bad game when my mum, because like after the Leafs have played, because she'll ask me the night, she'll be like, "Oh, are the Leafs playing tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then the day after, she usually goes, "How'd it go?" Nothing. She didn't. It was dead silence.
You also know it's bad when my dad picked me up from the train station yesterday after I came home, and he said, and we discussed work, and then the Leafs from my Habs fan of a father was the next topic of conversation.
Oh no.
If it went work, hockey, and he opened with, "So how about those Leafs, huh? Like what's going on with them?" And I just sit there and be like, "Look,
Leave
look, we're missing Mitch Marner right now. He is though one of the very few like middle-aged men in Toronto who does not want to get rid of Mitch Marner.
that for him. He's one of the girls, really.
Truly, truly. But he was like, so, but how? But he was very confused on how he got a high ankle sprain, and he was like, another one. How do they keep doing that? And I was like, Dad,
That's what we've been
you and me both, buddy. I've been wondering. I've been asking myself that same question. Uh, but yeah, Leafs and Devils. Wool gets the start again. Samsonov is fine though. Like that's the thing that I like. We'll talk about when we talk about like tonight's game a little bit more, but Will gets to start. Jake Allen gets to start for New Jersey, and then Jake Allen does Jake Allen heroic things where I'm like, ah, so this is why Montreal was still able to win quite a few games against some very strong opponents. It's Jake Allen doing Jake Allen things.
just miserable. Like, I just wonder how many more times this season are the Leafs gonna basically just fuck over Joseph Woll?
Well, okay, he's not helping himself
No,
with allowing the first shot on net
no.
from Luke Hughes.
But like it wasn't his best game, but also he wasn't
He
that.
should be allowed to have not best games.
Yeah, everyone's like,
That's the thing that like pisses me off. Is like, okay, yes, he didn't play his best. Like it was nowhere close to his performance in Carolina,
yeah,
but he should be allowed to have not great like
that's the thing. It's like
games and the Leafs still able to
why?
win.
Yeah, it's like he's allowed to let in goals because you can't expect him to stop every single shot in every single game. That's just not going to happen. But also, why are people being such dicks about it?
People are being so mean about it.
They're like,
And it's
oh, he's not good. Oh, we need to get rid of him. And it's like,
Get rid of him and replace him with whom?
What,
Matt Murray?
yeah,
Matt Murray? Is that really what we're gonna do right now?
it's like we replace one goaltender who's just come back from an injury with another goaltender who's just come back from an injury.
Who came back from surgery? Not just an injury, it's surgery. Arguably, it's worse.
Yeah, it's like, he's just, like, obviously you can't make the whole he's coming back from an injury excuse forever, but like he missed a good few months. You can't expect him to come back and be on top form immediately.
No.
And that's what everyone's like, oh, but he's been back for a while now, and I'm like,
Yes, but also there was 2 weeks where he didn't play.
he didn't play for 2 weeks.
He didn't play for 2 weeks. He came back, and his opponents since coming back have been Boston, didn't play for 2 weeks, and then he played, not Philadelphia, sorry, I'm having to look back. There was a game between, oh, no, not the Habs. There was a game, was it Philadelphia? Sorry, I'm looking back through notes. Not Philadelphia. Not the second Philadelphia game. Washington. Wasn't it like Buffalo, Boston, Washington? I don't have my like big desk calendar. I don't have my big desk Carolina. I don't have my big desk calendar out in front of me, unfortunately. I'm not in my apartment that has like the Leaf schedule written in, so I'm having to flip back through notes and it's not working very well. I probably should just have the Leaf schedule like open on a different tab, but I don't. But it's whatever. And also as well, defense, you're missing Morgan Riley and Ilya Lyubushkin.
Yeah, and that is quite a lot.
No, not Lyubushkin, you're missing Edmondson. Sorry, my mistake.
You're missing quite a lot.
You're missing Morgan Riley. You're missing quite a lot. Especially when Jake McCabe hasn't had a good stretch of games. Especially when TJ Brody is playing like TJ Brody. And you can be like, well, look at how the Leafs did without Riley when he was suspended. Yeah. Also look at the fact that you had like William Lagesson, who has suddenly become like a top defender in Anaheim for the Ducks. Yeah. Like he's playing great in Anaheim right now. If anyone's checked in on how he's doing since getting claimed off waivers.
I miss it. Why did we have to do that?
For the cap space, so that we could acquire.
Yeah, but like, did they not think like maybe for the vibe?
I think it was so we could acquire Dewar.
Okay. I can understand it.
Who is fighting for a lineup spot right now when Marner and Yarncroke return? Like that's another question: is who you take out? Well, you take out Gregor and Reeves. Duh. But who else has to come out? That's a fun little question where it's like, yeah, they just allowed too many turnovers. One I really want to focus on, because this one I was like, this is bad, is the Timo Meier goal. So it was like the goal that made it 5-3 for New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Max Domi. What was that? The no-look spin pass towards the middle of the ice along the boards where you have Austin Matthews behind you, wide open. Max.
Come on. Max.
Like,
oh my God.
You're trying to make a comeback and you do that?
It was a miserable experience.
That was just like a bad misplay that just compounded onto like a bad game.
Yeah.
Like the Leafs offensively were getting a lot of shots on net. Jake Allen, like let's make it clear that like New Jersey allowed a lot of shots on net, but also at the same time, Jake Allen stood on his head. But also, like, Leafs just made too many mistakes in, like, the important moments.
Yeah, it's like you can excuse mistakes because it happens, but like, come on.
Which also leads into the post-game comments from Sheldon Keefe.
Oh boy.
If you miss those, I highly recommend to go watch all of the post-game comments from that game because that was something. I'm not going to play with the audio because we don't have time to sit here and listen to like 4 minutes, but I will read them out because here we go. Hold on. I got to scroll past all the ones from yesterday's canceled practice.
Oh, this game.
Morgan blah, no Morgan Riley, blah 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 blah. Via Nick Barden, Sheldon Keefe on Joseph Wool. You can't let in the first shot of the game. That's 2 games in a row now, but the chances we gave up are egregious. There's a lot of issues in front of him. So, also true. He also called out, sorry, I'm just trying to find the tweet from David Alter. He called out, oh, sorry. Here we go. This is about John Tavares, who he called out by name, unprompted by name. Keefe's reaction to Matthews and Nylander also voicing their displeasure in tonight's game. They got to be the example. John Tavares has been the example for us. He's been outstanding for us for a long period of time. He himself got carried away tonight. That's our captain. So if that's going to happen, well, like the rest of our benches now, we're just making it up as we go. When you do that, you open the door for the opposition to have a good night. And they did that. And I thought the last goal at the end of the third period there, that's indicative of our second and third periods.
Yeah, that. Ouch.
That's the thing where I was like, I don't think I've seen Sheldon Keefe, and I don't want to say brutally honest, because he is a very honest person, but I don't think I've seen him be that direct with his words and calling out guys in a very long time.
No.
Like,
if that was me, and I just played an absolutely horrific game, and then I had to go home, and then someone sent me a text, and they were like, yeah, lol, your coach just absolutely ripped into you. I think I'd cry.
And then it gets broadcasted onto, like, national sports television. Like, in between the highlights of, like, the Ottawa Senators beating the, like, that game. It's like, yeah, here's, but also as well, he also, like, brought it back to it being very, like, to games of old. Because he was asked if this type of game was a one-off, also via David Elter. Love you, David.
Loved your new
TikTok?
on TikTok. It was really funny.
Well, it has happened a lot for our group over the years, and I'm talking about the experienced people. And that came back tonight, and I thought the game invited it. It's 25 shots. Everyone's feeling great. You got lots of puck touches, and you think it's going to happen again. And you're going to stay with it. I don't know if anyone's ever got 75 shots in a game before. I don't think it happens. Usually things adjust and the opposition pushes back. The game kind of tidies up a little bit. I just thought we got incredibly sloppy, careless, and that's disappointing. But to your point, that hasn't been us. We haven't played like that for quite some time. So I thought our guys got a little too excited, a little too carried away, and we tightened that back up real quick. Which is, like, true. Like, that game, I was like, oh. And it's not until Sheldon Keefe said it, where I was like, oh, he does have a point. Like, that game did feel very much like, I'm trying to, like, place it at, like, 20, like when he took over the team from Babcock 2019, 2020, a little bit of 2021 in there where I was like, this isn't the team that like we know they can be.
Yeah. It was
Um,
not watching the Leafs that we know.
the Leafs that we've seen this season, I think. Like, yes, they've had some bad games this season, but they haven't looked like that.
Yeah, that. I think that genuinely is one of the few games this season that was painful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That like, I think there's only ever been one other game this season that I've had to stop watching. So I think to have this been like the second worst game I've seen.
Which one was that? Was that Colorado?
It was a while ago. I think I fell asleep as well.
Ah.
I switched it off and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna
Go to bed.
I'm putting myself first.
Gonna go to bed.
I'm gonna go to bed because another hour and a half of sleep is better than sitting through whatever they.
Yeah, and like then both Austin Matthews and William Nylander in their post games cited a lack of maturity, which yes, this team like still has some young guys on it, but like, you know, the your key players are not young,
Yeah.
like considerably young anymore. Like, yeah, they're not old. Like they're not all pushing 30 yet, but like
Yeah.
they're not like 21, 22-year-old kids anymore.
Yeah. It's like, is that really an excuse?
No, because it's like they're gay. Like that's the thing where it's like you can't like a maturity. Like it's like you have to remember that you can't use the like, oh, we're young and inexperienced anymore because like you're not.
It's like you very much spent a lot of years in the league already. You're not.
This is what Austin Matthews' 7th season,
Yeah.
going into his 8th. You know, same with Mitch Marner, who didn't play, obviously. Still a
Come up. Come up to us, Mitch, please.
Yeah, and then the Leafs held a limited skills practice on Wednesday. They were supposed to hold a full practice and then changed it to a limited skills practice on Wednesday. At like 11 a.m. they canceled it, and practice starts at noon, so it was a little... But it was because of the lack of number, like they didn't have the numbers to run a full practice because of how many guys are sick/injured, which makes me very nervous about how many guys... Like, I know every team has guys who are playing through injuries, but the fact that you didn't have enough that couldn't practice makes me very scared about how many of them are. Like, I'm like, how many guys...
Bad is it?
How bad is it? Which we'll never know until the season's over and they all come out and they're like, well, I have to do, like, I had this. It's like the Matthew Tkachuk last season where he was like, couldn't, like, tie my skates. I had to get, like, my brother to help me put my jersey on and, like, my pads on because I had, like, 7 broken ribs. And you're like, okay. And he still was, like, scoring goals.
Yeah, I was like, that still baffles me.
Yeah, which is just, like, craziness. But
Yeah.
Marner was present at that skills practice in extra grays, and then Samsonov and Jones were the only 2 goalies there. Joseph Woll was not. I think I have the full list somewhere. Hold on. I think it's a Mark Masters tweet. But yeah, I think it was a Mark Masters tweet. But
Watching all like the quotes and stuff come out from Keefe, just being like, yeah, the based on the availability we had, and I was like, oh.
well, the availability was limited. The only ones they had there was Lyubushkin, Benoit, Giordano, Timmins, who all of those guys have played limited games in the past like 2 weeks. Reeves, Gregor, Marner, also guys who have played limited games. Like those are none of those guys were in the lineup day in day out for the past 2 weeks. Whether it be healthy scratch, whether it be Lyubushkin was sick for a while, missed a couple games, or you're Mitch Marner. or your Giordano coming back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, these are all guys who have not played. And then, of course, Samsonov and Jones. But yeah, and then Wool gets to start tonight against Washington. That's his third straight, which is really interesting of a choice because then you have ooh, the sun's coming out. And then you have like Samsonov in his media availability saying that he's ready to go. And that all it was is that he slammed his calf up against the post of the net and bruised it. Which, like, ow.
Yeah.
You could see the speed he hit it with too. Like, that's the thing.
No, when he said that, I was like I felt it. I was like, just hitting your calf on anything absolutely kills. So like,
yeah.
The fact that he was like going very fast.
Yeah, and then also as well, just because things can't get worse, Austin Matthews is a game time decision for tonight because of illness. He was not present at morning skate, which means we had Max Domi as our first line center. Which, like, take me out back and shoot me, please. According to...
I was getting all of this news whilst on a hike. I couldn't even react normally. Like,
just getting my, like, retweets of it, of being like, this isn't...
We got to the top, we were like, right, we'll have a break, we'll have some food, we'll look at the view. And I was like, I'll just check my phone, see what's going on.
And then it's me going, it's over, it's so done, we're done.
And I saw it, and I was like, I don't know how to react in, like, a normal way to this. Because my immediate thought is, oh my god, I'm just gonna throw myself headfirst down this hill. Oh my god.
But yeah, so he's gonna be a game time. But it's like Lance Hornby said he's ill, but it's illness, but it's not the flu. Which I'm like, then what is it?
Let Mitch cook.
Food poisoning. He went out for sushi with Nylander again. Food poisoning. But like that's the thing where I was like, what is it then? But yeah, and then also as well, I have another fun little quote to read. Yeah, he said, after not having, so back to the fact that he just didn't have enough people to run a full practice yesterday, he said, there's a couple of situations that remain game time decisions tonight. Guys who tried it this morning, these things are piling up. It seems like we're losing one or two guys every game to an injury. What? Like, what? Also, as well, we got an update on Morgan Rielly. Now, this is where I'm like, okay, Sheldon Keefe is back to his mysterious, quote, sort of ways, where I'm left trying to understand it like a riddle. Keefe on Rielly, this is via Terry Caution. He remains day-to-day. We're hopeful he is going to bounce back. Once he gets through this day or two here, it's not going to be a lingering situation. It's not an injury that's going to be ongoing. Once he's past it, he's past it. What does that mean?
What?
It's an upper body injury, but I'm so confused as to what that means.
Boob job. My immediate thought when I saw it.
He got his appendix out.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, Morgan Rielly's gonna come back for the suit.
That's not a summer surgery. Right. Okay.
He's gonna go like the blazer, like buttoned up, no shirt underneath.
Well, Charlie Lindgren's starting in net for the Washington Capitals tonight as they take on the Toronto Maple Leafs at like 7. I think this game starts at like 7:30, or it starts at 7. Gotta make sure I have the. Hold on, let me check because I've gotten the time wrong before. It's at 7, so I'll watch it while I'm having dinner. And I get to watch it on the big TV because I'm home, so I don't have to battle with media blackouts. I'll get to watch like big TV in the living room. So excited. But yeah, some other Leaf related news as well. This was via Kyle Cushman, uh, via Matthew Vachon from the Noveliste. So I got to put my French language skills to use because I read a French article for this.
Oh, well done. I'm so excited.
So it is about the fact that the Newfoundland Growlers and the Trois-Rivières Lions who are the Leafs ECHL affiliates, and then the Lions are the Montreal Canadiens ECHL affiliates, could not potentially may not finish the rest of their regular season this year after news that the ECHL will take over both the Growlers and the Lions after April 2nd due to league debts from the owners. DSE governors will then decide whether to pay them or pay them to finish the year, which is not great because the Leafs have had, not the Leafs, the Marlies have had to rely a lot on the Growlers this year just via injuries to their own lineup, injuries to the Leafs lineup that's recalled in call-ups from the Marlies, and then you have to call guys up from the Growlers to fill the gaps. And you also think about the pathway, like that's been a pathway for a lot of guys within the organization, most notably Bobby McMahon coming up through and playing for the Growlers a little bit in his career before going on to the Marlies. But yeah, so that's like the deadline's April 2nd. Apparently the Lions do have a buyer set up to purchase the team. It just won't happen before that April 2nd team, but unlikely that that team will cease to exist. It's the Growlers that's the true issue here, because to have a team like that not finish their season is not great. Also,
You can scrape together the funds.
you know what?
I have like £2.50.
MLSE has a lot of money.
Yeah, like,
They make a lot of money.
come on.
How hard is it to buy your ECHL affiliate?
Exactly. Like, if worst comes to worst, we just pull together.
Yeah, start a GoFundMe.
We can cut a deal.
We start a GoFundMe. But yeah, so it's not, because I think the hard part, like at least with Trois-Rivières, that's in Quebec, that's still fairly close to Montreal and Laval, which is where the Habs, like Laval Rockets, which is the AHL affiliate of the Montreal Canadiens, and then of course, then the Montreal Canadiens. It's all fairly close, right? The problem with the Growlers is that it's in Newfoundland and Labrador, which, unless you want to take an overnight ferry from like Corner Brook to Halifax, not Halifax, I believe it's Nova Scotia or New Brunswick. It's a flight, right? You have to fly from St. John's. And so that can add up quickly, especially with all the call-ups that are being made, from the Marlies. But like, Leafs can write those off. Write off the flights. And it guarantees your pathway, like your pathway of having an ECHL affiliate still stays intact.
Yeah, like, I'm not being funny. Without the Growlers, everyone is screwed. Because, I mean, we've seen how miserable it's currently getting with injuries.
Yeah.
It's a bit miserable for the Marlies at the moment with injuries as well. They are not having fun. Seems like everyone and their mum's broken the leg or something. We need them, please. But yeah, it's not ideal and it's not good because it's a huge pathway. Like you said, it was like, this is how we got some of our best players.
Yeah.
And it's like we love a narrative of like someone who's really, really worked their way up.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a list of like players who have come through,
Mm.
like if they have a list of like players who have come through the Growlers and have ended up playing for the Leafs. And I just can't, sorry. It's not easily available, and like I could spend the time Googling it, but like I don't know. Also as well, like allowing Newfoundland to have like pro hockey.
Huge for them.
Yeah, it is huge. It grows the sport out there in terms of making it more popular. Like, there's not a lot of guys who have come from Newfoundland and Labrador and have had success in the NHL. I feel like, what, most notably Alex Newhook, right? And so, I don't know. I'm like, it's important. I also don't like teams going under because then you're leaving all those guys who are on contracts and that's their jobs without money. Yeah, but I do have some good news.
Give me good news.
Washington Capitals are not moving from Washington, D.C. This is a story we covered quite a few episodes ago, actually. Yeah, a while ago, about potential plans to move the Washington Capitals from Washington, D.C. to potentially Virginia was one of the places that were thrown out. But those plans have fallen through to move. It would be both the Washington Capitals and the Washington Wizards, as like they're owned by the same ownership group, like the Leafs and the Raptors. From Washington, they've fallen through. Ownership and city have reached an agreement on a $515 million publicly funded arena project. This project will include an expansion of the arena complex around 200,000 square feet. Creation of an entertainment district in the surrounding Chinatown area, safety and transportation upgrades. Plans to build a new arena in Virginia fell through, and thus prompting this agreement to come to fruition. I think primarily it was because the ownership, who is a very rich man, I don't have his name up in front of me. It's okay, he's a rich man, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. He wanted the city, or at least wherever he was going to put this arena, whether it's Washington, D.C., so it's the district capital, or Virginia, wherever, he wanted the entire arena to be funded, like the entire brand new arena to be funded with taxpayers' dollars. And essentially the government was like, no, but we can give you this amount of money, we won't give you everything. And he was like, I am unwilling to provide the additional money that will help that happen.
Like, what's the point in being a rich man if you're not gonna provide the money for it to happen?
Like, if you're just gonna get taxpayers to pay everything for you. But I do think it's really great that they're keeping it central. From what I've heard, it's a really great location for an arena. Because I will be the first person to tell you that having an arena that is not easily accessible and not in the downtown area of your city is really annoying. As someone who goes to Ottawa Senators games, it's not fun to have to go all the way out there, especially when you also use it for concerts as well. Like, it's not great. But yeah, so that's cool. Washington Capitals and the Wizards, if you're into basketball, are staying in Washington, which is great because if they weren't in Washington, why would they still stay here? Like, what would you call them? The Virginia Capitals? That sounds dumb. Also, as well, some other good news stories that I have as well. Josh Doan scores 2 on his NHL debut. He scores 2 goals, which is a record for the most goals scored by an Arizona Coyote player on debut.
Could him go.
Josh Doan, notably, is the son of Shane Doan, who is retired NHLer, and now works in the Leafs front office. It was really cool. The reaction from his family was really great. They had him like in the box. They all looked really happy for him. It was really good. Um, Josh Down also like notably really good friends with Leafs Matthew Nyes. So besties. Um, yeah. Do you want to talk about the Senators and the Sabres, or do you want to talk about how the Nashville Predators are doing really, really well right now?
Didn't you think I might cry? Do we get the Sabres out the way?
We can get the Sabres out of the way.
I feel like that'll put me out of my misery a bit.
Okay.
The Buffalo Sabres have somehow got worse. They played last night. It was last night, wasn't it? Yeah, it was last night.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, you have like one of those weeks where it's just like time just doesn't happen the way it should. And I'm like, it could have been last night, it could have been 4 days ago, and I genuinely would not know the difference. Last night, the Buffalo Sabres lost 6-2 to the Ottawa Senators, and I am miserable. We had Luukkonen starting. It makes me so sad. He not. It wasn't his fault. I will like, I'm the first one to defend a goalie as one myself. I know just how much it sucks to have a team that goes out and does not do their job and does not defend or attack. I know all too well, and you've heard me complain about my team. It was shocking. I switched the game off after like 10 minutes, maybe. It was after they pulled Luukkonen after he let in. Oh, I sent it to the chat and I can't remember.
Oh, are you talking about the 4 goals?
Yeah, they.
Yeah, Ottawa Senators fastest to 4 goals. It was a Sportsnet stats tweet.
Yeah, it was 8 minutes and 49 seconds in. The Senators had scored 4 goals. It was miserable.
It's really funny though, because the other 2 teams that are on that list, St. Louis Blues, and of course the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Because of course.
It's always about the Leafs.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's funny because the Senators also scored 5 goals in the first period. So they scored those 4 and then scored another one.
And so they pulled Luukkonen after 4 goals in 8 minutes. I mean, I don't blame them because I don't think he particularly wanted to be out there at that point, because who would? And I think a lot of people need to understand that it takes a lot to make him mad, because his whole thing is like, he is a very like calm person. He's very level-headed. He doesn't let things like piss him off. If you 8 minutes and 49 seconds into your game, into the first period, if you have got your goaltender walking down the tunnel, throwing his stick and his helmet, you fucked up. Because it's... How can you... Sorry, this team really annoys me sometimes. I love the Sabres from all my heart. But sometimes they make me wonder why. Why do I do this? It was a shocking performance.
Yeah.
Like, should your goaltender let in 4 goals in less than 9 minutes? No. I'm not, like, I'm gonna defend Lukanen, but I'm not gonna say that he wasn't at fault in any way, because you can't let in 4 goals in less than 9 minutes, no matter what is going on. But everyone, people on Twitter really piss me off, because that man has carried the entire team on his back for the best part of the season. He has had such an amazing season. And the minute that he has a bad game, everyone's calling for blood. They're like, oh, like, give Devon Levi... No. Give Devon Levi a full year in the AHL to properly develop, because what happens when you don't develop your goalies? This happens when you don't develop your goalies properly. It all goes to shit. I get everyone's like, oh, but he's had time in the AHL. No, he's not. He needs at least a full season in the AHL to properly sort himself out. Because it's all fine and well being like, oh, well, he's back from the AHL now. He's playing really well. Yeah, but how long is that going to last? Because he's been playing in the AHL with a team... I don't want to make a controversial or bold statement here, but he's been playing for a team that's been playing a lot better in front of him than the Sabres have been playing in front of Lukanen. A lot better. So, of course, he's going to come up. He's going to have a good few games. That's what's happened all season. You bring him back, he has a good few games, and then, surprise, surprise, it all goes to shit. You can't... we all know I can talk about goalie development for years. So I'm not going to, open that kind of worms. Give Devon Levi a year in the AHL to, properly develop. Emphasis on properly. See how mad I'm getting right now?
I am, and I'm just saying, this game was more of a reflection on the Buffalo Sabres than it was on the Ottawa Senators. Because, yes, the Ottawa Senators have played a good little bit of stretch of games recently. They beat Edmonton. But, this is more badly, but I think this is more a reflection of how bad the Buffalo Sabres were than how good the Ottawa Senators were. Because the Ottawa, we have to still remember that we're talking about the Ottawa Senators.
It just... What pisses me off the most is this is exactly what happened last season, where the entire team, and just how horrifically shit they are, has worn Lukanen down completely, and he's got nothing left. He's given so much to the team, last year and this year, and it's just... It shocks me how pretty much the entire team can go, oh yeah, thanks Pete, thanks for having our asses, thanks for playing as amazingly as you've played, and he has had their backs when they've been shit. They do not have his back at all. And I think it's a big reflection of just what needs to be done. And it just really annoys me, because if you watched Lukanen's end of season interview from last year, year before, the man's crushed. He's got nothing left in him. They've mentally destroyed this man. And they're gonna do it again. And I don't... I love having him on a team that I enjoy watching. I use the word enjoy very loosely. But like, at what point? I think it's kind of reaching the point where if they don't do something soon, just send him somewhere that's gonna be good for him because this isn't. It's not sustainable, and he's gonna lose it. We've already seen, at least twice in like very recently, where he's lost his cool coming like either after like the first period or if he's been pulled, where he's lost it and he's thrown his stick. Because there was an interview that he did where he was asked like, do you ever get angry? Do you ever like want to like smack your stick on the goalpost? And he was like, yeah, I do, but I don't do it where people can see me.
Which,
So if you have let it get to the point where in recent weeks this has happened at least twice that people have seen, you've got a problem and you need to really reevaluate a lot of what you're doing with the team and how you as a team are playing, because this is not how you treat your goaltenders.
Yeah.
And that was me on the Sabres. Building up.
Well, yeah, so I also want to talk about how the Nashville Predators are 16-0-2 since canceling their U2 concert at the Sphere. Yeah, so their last 18 games, they have at least scored 1 point, which is crazy. Who knew canceling very expensive concert tickets would turn your season around?
I think the Sabres need to
cancel a U2 concert in Vegas?
Yeah.
But yeah, Nashville Predators, they could be very, very dangerous in the playoffs. They add some interest to what I thought was an otherwise very predictable not predictable Western Conference, but like, I don't know. I would have been like, oh, wow. Nashville Predators maybe a first-round exit there, but who knows now? They've essentially clawed themselves into a playoff spot, surpassing the Vegas Golden Knights, who are still pretty much locked into that second wildcard slot. Speaking of standings, I also want to point out, and I forgot to point out this out when we were talking about the Leafs, but we have time to talk about it now. The Leafs with Tampa Bay's win yesterday, they are now they moved into 2 points behind the Leafs for third in the Atlantic. That means the Leafs could potentially fall into a wild card spot.
I don't know if I've got it in there.
Which, they're not going to fall, like, that's the thing where it's like, okay, they're probably not going to fall out of a playoff spot. They haven't clinched yet. The only team that's clinched a playoff spot so far is the New York Rangers. Do you not like the Rangers? Really?
They're like one of my least favorite teams.
Really? Okay, we haven't discussed this yet because I am slightly fond of the New York Rangers.
No, I don't like them overall, but there's like individual players who I'm like, you know what? You're one of the girls.
Leafs legend Jimmy Vesey.
Little Miss Vanilla.
That's so mean. Oh my god.
The Rangers. That's all I have to say. I don't know why. I just don't like them.
Really?
I don't like seeing them have success as a team. But like when you get there's like individual players who I'm like I'm not fond of them, but I don't dislike them, and I'm like, you know what, good for them.
Okay, but that is how I feel about the Winnipeg Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets. It's not like I hate every other team. I don't. I just have a select few that I just can't stand. My inner hater is coming out today. Sorry, talking about the Sabres has just set me off.
So talking about the Sabres have gotten you riled up, and I'm the one who put it on the schedule. I was like, well, you know what? Why don't we talk about the Sabres? We need to fill some time. We can't just complain about the Leafs for an hour
Yeah,
because
let's complain about another team.
let's complain about another team. Yeah, let's complain. Yeah, the Sabres. But yeah, like I said, so like the Leafs. Oh, my mother just texted me. Hi, Mom. She was asking me how my day is. I'll answer her in a bit. Fine. But yeah, if the Leafs, like, not to say, like, no matter, odds are they're playing Florida or Boston, no matter which way you put it. Um, they're playing Florida or Boston. And then, but if they fall, like, far down the standings into like that second wild card spot, they could end up going through the Metro and playing the New York Rangers instead. Which, wow.
At what point do I have to put myself first?
Like,
Dilemma.
but yeah, Boston or Florida. But yeah, so hopefully, they don't get home ice advantage either way, whether they are the first or the first seed of the wild card or whether they're third in the Atlantic. Doesn't change anything. We knew, like, this is the thing where I'm like, okay, but we knew we were either going to be playing either one of these teams back in January again. Like, count how many times on a finger we've known this before the All-Star break. Of like, this is who we're playing in the playoffs, guys. Woohoo! But yeah, so also as well, to come out of that Tampa-Boston game last night, there was Leaf sucks chance in a Boston-Tampa game. Like, at this point, like, if you don't want it to be all about the Leafs, you're doing it to yourself with things like this.
Literally, it's like, oh, Leafs fans are so annoying, Leafs fans are everywhere. Bitch, we didn't do this.
You're the one who started the Leaf sucks chant at a game in which on a day in which the Toronto Maple Leafs were not playing. The Toronto Maple Leafs didn't even play last night. That's the thing where I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Rent-free, baby.
Rent-free? We are right there. Rent-free.
Oh, everyone's just obsessed with us. I'm jealous of the fact that the Leafs have the best podcast about them ever. It's called From the Fourth Line. I don't know. But it's like really cool, and the two hosts are really funny.
We're absolutely hilarious. Okay, I do want to take a second though to cherish the fact that, because it's baseball season, and you know how I feel about regional blackouts. My favorite thing about watching Blue Jays baseball is the fact that Sportsnet owns the rights to every single Blue Jays game through the season, meaning I can watch a national broadcast of my boys in blue every single game of the season. 162 games, no regional blackouts. We are not sponsored by Sportsnet. That would be really cool if we were, though. Could you imagine? That would be the greatest lead-in to an ad read. And you can watch your boys in blue on Sportsnet, Sportsnet Plus, and Sportsnet the 360. To contact your local cable provider, or go to sportsnet.ca where you can sign up for Sportsnet Plus now. Sorry.
You've not sponsored us.
Oh yeah, true. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way to edit that so that it's like, I don't know, not an ad read.
Over the top of me.
It's not an ad read. Because I don't want an ad read. But I will say, I don't know if you saw it. Speaking of Leafs, that was not even a transition. That didn't even make sense. But Leafs play tonight against the Capitals. We just have time to fill. So I'm like, I don't know if you saw that one picture that the Capitals posted of their guys getting on the plane. of Ovechkin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
With the Subway sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Subway sandwich and flaming hot Cheetos.
What?
Man, a taste right there.
Why?
Would like love to know though, however, like what his go-to Subway order is.
I feel like, yeah, you can tell a lot about someone from the Subway order, and
Yeah. What is your go-to Subway order?
I don't have one because I don't go to Subway.
Really?
I prefer to make my own sandwiches and not have to pay an arm and a leg because I'm broke.
True. I do go to Subway quite a bit.
And I just feel like I will eat most things, but I'm really picky about sandwiches, and I just feel like if I went in and had to ask someone to make me a really specific, I have the most boring sandwiches. I'd feel so judged, and it's like I'd rather just do it in the comfort of my own home, where I know that I'm not gonna get judged for having just a boring sandwich.
Okay, well this is
I want my chicken sandwiches, thank you.
this is my go-to Subway order. It's okay, so it's flatbread, foot long, because I'm hungry. Foot long flatbread, turkey, white cheddar, toasted, lettuce, green peppers, red onions, cucumbers. Yeah, that's everything. Sub sauce, like the house Subway sauce. That's it.
I approve.
Seal it up. Make all that boring. I don't like tomatoes. I'm not a big olive person. Did you just jaw drop at me not liking tomatoes?
Yeah.
It's a texture thing. I can't do the texture of it. The taste is fine. It's the texture. I can't especially cherry tomatoes, because it's the inside, it's the seeds part. I think I'm just disappointed. It's the texture. It's why I also don't like bananas. The texture. I can't do it.
You think you know someone.
Okay, look, all of the foods that I don't like, except, well, I'm not a bacon person, but I don't know, that's just always been a thing that I've never...
But what sort of bacon are we talking about? Because we have very different concepts of bacon.
Like the traditional, BLT bacon.
Where?
Like the strips bacon. Not the Canadian bacon with, the pea meal on the side.
Okay. Yeah, you have very different bacon. You will try some proper bacon in August.
They don't know about August yet.
They don't know what's happening. How do they know? I could just be, sending you a food parcel.
You're gonna send me... They don't know about August yet. We haven't told anyone about August yet.
I keep forgetting.
Proper bacon. No, but what do you mean? What do you mean? There's different. Is there British bacon?
Well, we only have one type of bacon, and it's.
Okay, there's
I'm googling.
There's Canadian bacon, which is thicker cut. It's almost ham-like, has pea meal on the side.
Right.
Well, they call it pea meal, but it's Canadian bacon.
Oh my god, why can I not spell? Yeah,
if I Google...
This is... I know, I'll just...
Oh, you guys even have, your own bacon?
Yeah,
Because there's Canadian bacon, then there's American bacon, and then there's British... Oh, it's back bacon?
That's our bacon.
It's back bacon? Okay, maybe I will... Okay, but I don't like the American bacon. I don't do the,
Oh, this shit.
Yeah, no. I don't do that stuff.
I'm not being funny. That's not bacon. That's American.
I don't do that stuff. So, but that's like, and that's not a texture thing. That's just I'm not a big fan of bacon. But most of the reason why I don't like most foods is the texture. I don't like mushrooms texture.
Oh, I hate mushrooms.
Um,
Mm.
Olives. I guess olives are purely taste, but like I'll eat them. I just won't go out of my way to eat them.
Mm.
That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, oh, here's a Greek salad. There's some olives in it. I'd be like, I'll eat the olives.
I'm against olives in theory and in practice.
I'm not. I won't do green olives though. I don't like green olives. Only black olives.
I'm not an olives girly.
But yeah. Sorry for disappointing you with my lack of like love for tomatoes.
And here I am for dinner. I'm making courgette and tomato pasta using cherry tomatoes.
It's the texture. They're fine. Like it's just when they're like cooked that I'm like, I don't.
Mm. I mean, it's understandable because they do kind of just turn to mush.
Yeah, no, there's no texture. Like I love tomato sauce and I love ketchup. Just don't do.
Oh my god! Speaking of ketchup, today I always knew like ketchup flavored crisps like exist.
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Yeah, I went into the shop and they had like a weird like American section. They had ketchup flavored Pringles. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, they're ketchup chips. We don't. Well, Pringles is a little bit. You gotta go Lay's. Lay's are the classic. You go Lay's ketchup chips,
I don't know.
and they're good. No. Before you're like, oh, I don't know why they'd be good. Think about like the concept, okay? It's a potato with ketchup. It's like a French fry with ketchup.
I know. I don't.
They're really good. I love ketchup chips.
No, I think it's.
All dressed too. All dressed are really good. Love an all dressed chip. Don't ask me what all dressed flavor it is. It's like barbecue, but like better.
All dressed. They just put like little clothes on the line.
It's like barbecue, but better.
No, thing is, I would have bought them to try them, but they were £4.25 for a can of Pringles, and
That's ridiculous.
And it's because we don't have them here, so it's like they will be more expensive.
Yeah.
I'm also like, well, what?
Maybe I'll just mail you some.
You guys.
But yeah, no, ketchup chips, all dressed chips, they're the best. And then you also have like coffee crisp. Oh my god. Coffee crisp. Oh, I love coffee crisp. They're my favorite. It's a chocolate bar, but it's like a Kit Kat, but like it's thicker. So it's like the same size almost as like a Babe Ruth or like a Bounty Bar or something like that. And then it's got like a coffee sort of coffee flavored sort of filling in it. Not like it doesn't ooze. It's more of like just like a chocolate layer. But yeah, I love coffee crisp. Probably my favorite chocolate bar is a coffee crisp.
I love do you have double deckers?
What? Like the bus?
No, like the chocolate bar.
Is it named after the bus?
I don't know how the naming process happens, but they are. Oh my god. They're like. How do I describe double deckers? They're like the one chocolate that tastes so much better if you put it in the freezer for like.
Oh. Like cold chocolate.
Yeah, if you like put it in the
chocolate you pull out of the fridge. Chef kiss.
Because it's so nice. Like you bite into it.
It's got that crunch. It's got the snap that it gives you.
These are double deckers. They are incredible.
Oh, they're Cadbury. You do realize like we don't have like half of the Cadbury products that you do.
And I think that's a travesty. Because they're just I love Cadbury's. Which is weird. I don't like just plain dairy milk for some reason. Right, I have a theory, right? I have a theory as to why I'm really picky about chocolate now. Because I used to love dairy milk so much. And then I had COVID. And I could not eat it afterwards because it made me feel sick.
Mm.
And now I've had COVID 3 times, and my dislike for Cadbury's Dairy Milk grows stronger by the day.
That's so upsetting.
It's just true. The thing is, I love Galaxy. Galaxy is one that I can still eat. I can do Dairy Milk if it's got other things in it, but I can't do just Dairy Milk on its own anymore, which is tragic because my favourite thing to do is I'd get a little bowl and I'd put the chocolate in the bowl and then I'd microwave it and then I'd like dip strawberries in it, and it was like my favourite thing ever. And I can't do that anymore unless I want to do Galaxy, but I don't really buy chocolate because it's expensive. I'd rather just like go to the bakery and get like, I don't know,
A nice treat.
my little treat. They do really
A
nice.
little treat. Yeah. I don't know, I'm a big chocolate girly, but like for me, I grew up in a chip house. We ate a lot of chips. That was like our sort of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah. I love chocolate, but like I just don't have it as much. It's like a little treat. But
yeah.
mm,
Well, I think should we end it there?
I love how
I
it
think
comes into the off season.
yeah. I feel like now because it's like we can't talk about trades. It's too soon to talk about free agency. It's too soon to talk about the playoffs. Which I will say though, apparently according to the NHL, the schedule timeline for the playoffs has changed. It was supposed to start the 22nd. Instead, it will start the 20th of April. Thanks for that. I was really hoping to have one weekend of like peace and like
No.
not, but no, like that's the thing where I'm like, oh.
Now we get to go from average intensity hockey to, oh my god, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
No break,
Yeah.
no preparation time. It's just straight in.
The stress acne will be brutal.
I can't wait.
That's the thing, is I am the absolute worst when it comes to stress acne. Like I break out like there's no tomorrow if I have like any sort of stress. Whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's sports.
All three in one.
Oh, I throw it at the same time.
What could you want?
Oh, I really can't wait for that. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. But yeah, so that's, I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it was so they could have a game on Saturday night, which like, okay, thank you for that. Like, we have had a Leaf game every single Saturday night since like November.
Just
Literally.
impacted my Saturday night plans.
Yeah, me too. It's become a thing of like, sorry, can't go out until after 9 o'clock, like 9:30, 10.
And I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't go out because I will be checking my phone from midnight onwards.
Or there's the time where I'm like at someone's house at a party. I was like, no, I'll go to your Christmas party, and I'm sitting there watching the game on my phone.
This team,
Runs our lives. Literally runs our...
I mean,
Literally dictates our decisions.
it dictates my sleep schedule.
Yeah.
I'm still working on your time zone for the entire hockey season. I'm awake at the same time you're awake.
Literally, like, if you want to know, there's sometimes where it's like I've been awake and like at work for an hour, and Marcie will be like, good morning. You're like, it's 9 a.m.
I'm like, it's fine. Sometimes the devastation of the Leafs games means I have to just sleep through one of my lectures for like my own sake.
School is temporary, Leafs are forever.
Exactly.
um, with
Tattooed across my back.
school is temporary, Leafs are forever. Well, their whole thing is Leafs. That's their hashtag, is Leafs forever.
Yeah. Leafs forever.
With that being said, we'll end the podcast here.
Tattooed across my knuckles.
Leafs forever. Yeah, LEAFS forever.
For, and then ever it's spelled EVA.
Forever. Forever. With that being said,
in the summer, and I've just got Leafs forever on my knuckles. And he just goes, "What have you done?"
With that being said, we'll end the episode here. We'll be back on maybe Monday. I don't know what I think we can figure it out for Monday. The Leafs do play on Monday. So, and I am in Toronto. I may be at the game. Who knows? Taking on. Who knows? But yeah, Leafs play. We'll be back on Monday. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. Again, not up to date on YouTube. Once again.
I'll get on that. I've got
No, it's also on me because I haven't put them into the drive.
Okay, good. I was like, I've not actually checked since I'd last did the massive upload.
But yeah, you can also find the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're like multiple places. You can also follow the show on Twitter.
I was like, let's like round this up and then.
On Twitter at From the Fourth Line, that's fourth with a TH. You can follow me and Mar on Twitter at 60 Leafs. For her, at PairToBe1 for myself. I will be now tuning into the Blue Jays game, season opener. So go Jays go! Go Leafs go!
Go Leafs go!
Go Leafs go! Go Jays go! And we'll see you guys next time. Alright. Bye-bye!